welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, this time around in English, of course, as you may already have noticed. And today I want to show you 3 different games again. That will be first-person bottle flip, Contentt cells, the Hexa puzzle, and the cream bar future. My name is Gerald, and as always I've got a couple of different things with me, which is of course, for instance, this Arc mouse, which is just a Bluetooth-enabled mouse to be connected there, so we can, for instance, control the mouse pointer and stuff like that with this, of course. And we have the Foldable keyboard with us for all the keyboard input, of course. And we might have the Xbox One wireless controller in here, but at the moment, for those games we are going to play today, this is not going to be used. Here, and of course, as the core of the whole thing, we are using the Lumia 950 XL here, which is a Continuum-enabled smartphone with Windows 10 on it. It has an USB-C connector at the bottom here, and we can of course connect our display dock like this one here with the smartphone like this, and the display dock itself is connected to the TV, and like that we can, for instance, use the TV as a displaying device for the smartphone desktop kind of way to, for instance, play games and do other stuff like that. So if you want to know more about that, please have a look at the corner there. You will get a couple of different other videos there where you can have a look at other options and how that is all done and stuff like that. And yeah, so long talk, let's start with the first game, and the first game is first person bottle flip. For that I'm going to go to my all apps list as always and clicking on this, and now I'm going to put in the name, of course. There we are, first person bottle flip. This is a very small game. It is 3D, so somehow a very interesting approach, but very small, because you are really doing just one thing all of the time here and trying to increase your score like that. Yeah, and that is more or less flipping a bottle, so nothing very special about that. So let's have a look. As you can see, this is more or less a playing field. There is not going to be any kind of menu or something here. You are just starting with the game, and what you are going to do now is you have your mouse pointed, just press it, and if you press it, then you see there is going to be a bottle that is flying around and going to spin. And yeah, the longer you press, the more the bottle spins there. And as you can see, you have the score and the best score, whatever. And what you want to do is now you want to get the right amount of pressure, or a right amount of power here, to, for instance, get that bottle to stay where it is. The game is somehow a little bit bricked, because if you, for instance, give it the full power, you can see that the bottle is not going to go all the way around, so you really want to get only the power to let it stay where it is, for instance, and if you do that, you get a new point for that in a special kind of way. It's not even that it's really landing on the right part or something, it has to land in more or less a right angle to really be counted here. So that one wasn't. And if you listen closely, you will hear in the background some kind of a noise, so some kind of a alert, more or less, that is telling you if the bottle was fine and got counted, or if it was some bad thing. Let's see if I can. Too much. Yeah. I don't really like that if I'm, for instance, getting the bottle to more or less stay where it is, it's still not counting it sometimes. When it is counted, it's more or less a little bit pointing to the camera or something. Then you are going to get a point, otherwise it's not going to happen. Yeah, and as mentioned before, this is really a very small game, because... Oh, come on, give me one. close to it. Yeah, there was one. That one got counted. And yeah, as you can see, it's a little bit hard to get the right amount, and then you are trying to increase the score, of course, all over again, and try to get it up and up and up, and the higher you go, the better you go. Yeah, this is more or less the whole game. There is no real aim in this game or something, and there is nothing to achieve or something. You just have to do it over and over again, try to get the real right way to get the bottle here. And if you really can catch up with that, your score is going to rise, and then you of course get a higher score. And that is all you are going to do here. More or less like a real bottle flip game. So just try to get the bottle to stay or rotate around like you want. And that is more or less what you are going to do here. Yeah. So it's a really small game. You can download it for free in the store, and if you want to try it out, try it out. It's kind of fun if you are really trying to get rid of a lot of time. Yeah, and then I would say let's go to something that is a little bit more useful, or at least meaningful, and that is called Contentt's Hexa puzzle. What we get here is more or less a small little Hexa puzzle game. It's not the typical 3 is winning game or something like that, or 4 is winning 4 in a row, whatever game. It's a little bit different, and I want to show you how. So, first one here. Yeah, what is going on here is there are going to be numbers on the Hexa polygon shapes. And yeah, what you are going to see is that the numbers are more or less rising up if you are going to give him more or less a row or something. This is a menu. Pretty interesting if you ask me. You of course click on this button, or everything else is more or less just meaningless, other than of course this. So if you want to have a tutorial, try it out here, and if you want, for instance, to mute the game, you can do that at this point. Otherwise, there's not much to see here. And then, I would say, just let's go in. And yeah, as you can see, this was my last time I tried it. It's saving more or less what's going on there, and so I'm going to restart. And as you can see, you get, yeah, more or less this kind of play field, and what you are going to do here is you see these numbers on them, and what you want to do now is you just click on one of the fields here, and then you try to bring numbers together. And as you can see, each and every turn you're going to do is going to bring up other new definitions here, other new shapes more or less, and you are trying to bring them all together. And yeah, what is necessary that they can be reached is just a free pass-through. So wherever you want to go, it doesn't really matter. It's going to go there by just going to the different possible ways here. And as you can see, the numbers are going to rise. If you, for instance, get 4 in a row or 4 next to each other, they really only have to be connected. They don't have to be in a row or in some other kind of way. And yeah, so just try that. And of course, it's a wise way to do it in a, as you can see, there are going to be no new shapes all over again, each and every turn. And it's a wise thing that you can try to create those kind of grappers, so that, or the groups more or less, so that you are not going to lose, because the problem about, or the thing that is going to let you lose is more or less if all of your play field is, yeah, more or less occupied, and like that you can't do anything anymore. So let's see what we can achieve here. And don't worry if you can't, for instance, create a group or something at the start. It's really not important. And as you can of course see, the numbers and the parts you're connecting here have to be from the same kind. So 2 of course has to be connected with 2, 3 has to be connected with 3, and so on and so forth. And like that you really have to create your own little parts, and as you can see, all the time you are going to get a new group more or less connected to each other. It's going to form a new shape with a higher number. And that is more or less what you are going to do. It's a little bit like tinkering, so there are games where you are tinkering with different other stuff here. And this is more or less the same, but in, yeah, I think a nice little way. And as you can see, you're just going to connect those, trying to get larger numbers, larger the groups, of course it's the better. It really doesn't matter much, I think, how many there are. Of course, if you are going to create a group of 4 in itself, then it's not going to work. But for instance, if you are connecting to three groups or something, so groups of 3 on each side, and you can put 1 in the middle or something, your group is going to get higher, and your score is going to be higher than that. Yeah, and this is more or less what we are going to do. There is this kind of power up, or whatever you want to call it. So if you want to kill one of the shapes, just click on that and you are able to do that. Otherwise, if you, for instance, misclick, just click on another shape here, not on an empty space, and it's going to work. Yeah, and now just go on and play it. And as you can see, there now is no way to go up there, so they're telling you that. And you have to, yeah, more or less make a way available or something to get it up, or work your way through whatever you want to do there. And yeah, what more to say here? It's really a nice little game for people who really like those puzzle games or casual games. You really should try it out. You're going to reach a higher score all the time, and yeah, this is more or less what the game is all about. As you can see, if you are going to rise up to a certain number, and it's the highest one you already got, you are going to get this little stripe animation there that's going to show up, and it's just telling you, hey, well done, to go on like that, and it's going to be great. Yeah, so I think I don't have to tell you much more about this game, so let's close this game down. Try it out if you like those kind of puzzle games, casual games. It's a nice one. And I would say let's have a look at the last one, which is last game in this episode, of course, the Queen Bar Future. This is a casual game too, so today we are going to have a couple of casual games here, and this is a more complex one because in this case you are going to have an ice cream shop more or less, and you need to serve your customers. And there are different ways to serve your customers. In the first level there's more or less only one, but if you are going to rise up in the levels there, you are going to see that there are a lot of different options available in this game. I'm going to put it in now. It's the Queen... Okay. Maybe I'm writing it wrong. I don't know. Ice Cream Bar Future, it's called. So one of those occasions where the name in the store is a little bit different than the one on the device itself, but really doesn't matter. And you can get rid of this bar at the bottom here like this. And now you can see you can just click on play. Yeah, and what's going to happen here is you are going to be, after a short little advertisement, of course, just go over that. We can restart the game, or more or less the game we played before. We can go on with that, or we can just play a new game. Since you are going to go up in levels and stuff like that, it might make sense to continue the game before, but in this case I'm going to restart the game. Yeah, and this is more or less the game, and as you can see, this is the order the person is going to give you, and you have to just click on the different ingredients in the right direction, do a double click if you are ready, and as you can see, the customers have some kind of patience here. So if the bar is over, or full more or less, then your customer doesn't have any patience anymore. At the start, as you can see, you only have those two combinations, so it's very easy to do that. And we are now in the second level. I clicked too fast with that. Here you can see we have a new ice cream part there, and now make sure that you get the right order to click that, and just give them what they want there, so the ice cream they demand. And this is going to go all over again and on and on and on. Till you, for instance, don't have any kind of ingredients anymore, because you can see the ingredients are going to lower here, and of course you don't have an infinity number of cups or something like that too, so it's pretty, yeah, at least a little bit more realistically. And after a while, if you don't have any kind of ice cream and stuff like that anymore, so we got the level here, then you have to buy a new one. So for instance, new cups, or create new ice cream or stuff like that. And if that is happening, you really have to wait a couple of seconds, and there may, or yeah, probably are some customers you are not able to serve them. So I'm going to turn around a little, because it's just going to be a faster and faster game. If for instance you're going to make a mistake or something, you have to get rid of it by clicking on that one, and as you can see, we are in the next level, we got more ice cream now. And in the next level then, we are going to have, for instance, ice cream cone and stuff like that available, which of course has to be used, and the customers are going to get higher rarities, what they want, varieties, sorry. Not the word I want. And as you can see, if you can't serve it, you have, for instance, to get rid of it and make a new one. So order is probably interesting, if I'm not sure, not wrong, oh sorry. And as you can see, we are going to lose a couple of customers on the way. There's just nothing we can do about that, but be very fast with it. And it's all about clicking fast, thinking more or less fast, so just get the hang of it, of course. And yeah, for each and every customer you get, of course, a new score, as you can see up there. So you're earning money, of course, for them. And as you can see, if something is happening, for instance, there is no more ice cream or something of a certain type, you have to rebuild it. And now you just have to wait, because cones are the stuff they really want there. So we have to wait, and hopefully we can achieve that still. Going to be hard, but let's see if we are able to. Yeah, got her served there. And now another one that is going to get lost here, so we can more or less get rid of that. Wait for it. What you always can click in the first level is, for instance, a cup. Later on, if there's, for instance, an option to have a cone or something, then it's not going to work like that, but at the starting point here, it's going to work like this. Okay, so next level, and as you can see, we get more and more stuff opened here. And of course, there are going to be more and more customers running around, and you just have to serve them. And this is more or less what this game is all about. I find it quite of a nice game somehow, if you really like this kind of one. So it's of course just clicking around and stuff like that, but the order is important, so it's something you can, for instance, give to your children or something, and it's really going to occupy them a lot if they like it. Okay. And if you ask me now why different customers are running to a different spot on the screen or something, I don't know. I really don't. But still, whatever. Just give them what they want here. Do it in the right order, of course. And after a while it's going to be pretty troublesome to do that. Now we have to wait. Probably we are going to lose him, I'm not sure. And the orders are going to be more different. For instance, in the later levels you are going to see different Okay. For instance, now the ice cone is there, and like that we have to wait a little and just serve them in the right order. Just put everything in, try to give them what they want, and do this all over again. I'm not sure if there is a order you have to achieve here, if you're gonna get a cone or a cup there, I'm not sure, but I think the cone one is just additional to that, and you can just do it whatever way you want here. Okay, and of course this one. And as you may already have noticed, we have to be very fast now. If for instance you're going to have an error or something in your order or something, you're not going to get the customer in general after a while. And it's a good idea, for instance, like to work like this. So do all the clicks you can, even so you, for instance, don't have any kind of ice cream for stuff like that anymore. Ooh, this seems to be wrong now. Yeah. Okay. So this is pretty much over there. I'm not sure if you really can lose in a big way or something. Can't do anything here. Sorry. Okay, so let's do one again. We have to switch between cone and the cup here then. And as you can see, we are going to lose a couple of different customers. I'm not sure if there is something. Come on. That one. Let's see if we can serve that guy. No, got it wrong. Okay. Last cup here, do that. And as you can see, I'm going to be worse than before. Hopefully, yes. Yeah, and now the time is more or less running out here. So if we are not going to serve enough customers in a certain amount, we are not going to win this. Yeah, and this is more or less the game, so be very fast, try to get the right orders in, try to get the right codes, of course, and stuff like that. And don't double click on something that you are not allowed to click double on and stuff like that. And that is more or less what this game is all about. Try to serve the customers, give them what they want, and yeah, it's pretty easy to understand, but quite interesting. And if you have the time, you can of course go on and on and on, because you can work on the levels you are in at the moment and try to get a better score the next time. Yeah. And this is more or less what this game is all about. So try it out if you like this kind of doodling game, whatever you want to call that. It's pretty much something that you can play everywhere you want and just get out of it if you just don't have the time anymore. Or you can, for instance, give it to your children or something and let them play. It's fine for them too. Yeah, and so I would say that was the last game in this episode. I hope you had fun with the episode, and of course, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you didn't subscribe till now, you might want to do that at the button below. If you have any kind of questions or you want to say anything, just put it in the commentary section down below. I'm going to try to answer everything I can, and of course, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. We are going to see us in the next episode again, which is going to be, of course, at Saturday or Sunday next week. And so, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, see you and bye-bye.